Welcome to the Live Explore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe.
Hey, welcome back. I'm here again with Blayney White, originating branch manager for CrossCountry Mortgage. We're here to talk about construction loans, but for housing.
That's right.
All right, let's get into it.
Okie dokie, let's dive right in.
You got two of them, right? There's
Yes.
a rehab and new.
Yes.
All right, let's go through the rehab. What's it
Okay.
take?
So, a couple things to note. The loans we're going to talk about today are really intended for the homeowner. It's a big distinction between what we talked about the other visit, which was for builders and professionals. So, this would be, if you think about a rehab loan, maybe you have a house that's near a river that flooded during the torrential rains this winter. Maybe the land is unstable underneath the post and pillar of your house from the rains. Those would be great examples of rehab loans. Or a tree fell on your house last winter. Those are rehab loans, meaning that a large portion of the house is going to remain intact, and then there's other portions that need to be completely replaced or fixed depending on the condition of the house.
Okay, and so, if a tree fell on the house, you're probably not going to live in the house.
No, you're not going to live in the house in any of these cases, really.
Okay, so I'm not going to, or I can't.
Both. So typically when that happens to a house, it's not considered safe to habitate in that dwelling. So you must vacate and rent something while we're fixing the property.
Okay, and then new construction.
New construction is a completely different ball of wax. So this is your opportunity, folks, to go out and buy that dream lot and build your dream home and move into it when we're done. It's called construction to perm financing. And it really does take you through the process of the lot acquisition, getting your permit and plans, building your dream home, going through the phased construction, and then the loan automatically rolls into permanent financing when it's done.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So like the for-profit loans, I can't just, this is not a do-it-yourself. I need a builder.
Thank you for asking that. It's huge. It's really important. These are not do-it-yourself loans. No DIY on TikTok. Forget about it. These loans really do need a professional builder with experience, insurance, and subcontractors to help you.
Is it the same requirement? So when I choose a builder to build my dream home, is the requirement, the last 36 months still the same? Or is it?
Is.
Okay.
It is. We're really looking for experienced builders to partner with for these types of loans because the end result is what we're looking to get, which is a finished project that can be lived in.
Okay. Where do they find builders again? You talked about associations.
Yeah, most of the really experienced and reputable builders belong to the county's building associations. So as an example, Marin Association of Builders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the loan. So on a rehab loan, what's the process for some? I mean, because you're going to be dealing with people who don't typically, they get a loan for a house, but they don't typically get rehab loans. So it's a new...
Yes. So, I think a really big distinction, of course, is that the rehabilitation implies that something has happened to the home, so you may have an insurance claim going simultaneous with this. You may bankroll it yourself and wait for the insurance payout, but that's a big piece of doing a rehabilitation. So if a tree falls on your home, guaranteed you're going to be calling your real estate agent, your insurance agent to get that piece squared away.
Okay. And then on the rehab loan, you talked about the construction loan to permanent financing on the new. Do you have that loan available for a rehab?
No. So this assumes that you're going to refinance at the end. A rehab loan, they're going to come in, they're going to do the work, and it may actually be secured behind your current first mortgage that you have as a homeowner, as long as you can qualify carrying the existing loan on the property the rent on the place that you've moved to and the construction loan, then you could do it that way. Usually what happens is the construction loan takes out all the old financing, you do the work, and then we refinance once you get your CO, which stands for Certificate of Occupancy.
All right, that sounded a little complicated there. So let's go back over this.
Okay.
All right, so the tree falls on my house.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I can't live in it, right?
Nope.
So I'm going to contact my insurance agent.
You are.
We're going to get that started.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I come see you to get a rehab loan.
Mm-hmm.
And now you said, I think you said, the rehab loan is going to wipe out my first, right? It's not wipe it out. That sounds derogatory, but you're going to pay that off, right? And so I'll have that first plus the rehab part at the end of this thing, right?
Yes. In other words, you're going to refinance the leverage on the property once you're complete, typically. So whether you have an old first before the house got demolished by a tree and we put a construction loan behind it, or the construction loan simply pays off the first mortgage that's there and it's only the one loan, at the end of construction we refinance into a new loan and you move in. You cannot move into the home once there's construction financing on it, per the guidelines of these programs.
Okay, is that typical for construction loans?
Yes, it is, because they're hazardous zones. You know, typical construction projects, you have to have steel-toed boots, a hard hat, you've got to be insured, you can't be on site. So that's the requirement of not living there while under construction.
Okay, so there's a lot of questions that could still be, somebody could have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where do we get where can we get answers?
I recommend you call me, because every scenario is unique, every property is unique, every borrower is unique, and you might look at something and think it's not possible, and I might look at it and think it is possible, or vice versa. And the best way to find out is to ring my phone and let's have a quick conversation.
And what's your number?
415-509-7788.
So, but if I go to the website, let's just say I think I can read, and I can read. It's probably the comprehension part I struggle with. And you have all this terminology, right? Is that when I can call you and say, listen, I'm trying to understand this?
Yeah, you can call me and I'll teach you, but I think it's really important, if you are a homeowner and preparing to go through any type of construction, get yourself up to speed with respect to the lingo of the industry. So you're going to hear things like loan to cost, you're going to hear construction contingency and fixed price, and all those things mean something, and the more you read up before we get started, the better experience you'll have. But I will teach you. I won't go too fast, I promise.
Okay, so is this similar, like, if somebody's going out to buy a house, as a real estate agent, we always say, are you pre-approved? Have you talked to a lender, right? Because if you haven't done that.
Yeah, don't get in a car.
It's difficult, right?
Right.
Is that the same scenario? So the tree lands, I call my insurance person, and then I contact you before I even get, too far down the road?
Yes.
Or should I wait until the insurance claim is started to materialize?
I think that's a great question, Alan. I think it depends on your personal wealth position, because some borrowers, it's going to vary. Some borrowers have lots of cash, and so they may draw on that to get new plans started right away. Whereas another borrower may be waiting for the insurance payout to pay for new plans with the architect. Right. So that part remains to be seen. But I think that you can start the loan process at any time, and then as we're going through the steps, you're going to need to acquire an architect, and you're going to need to acquire a good builder and a timeline, because that builder you choose, they may not be able to start for 12 months. They may be booked out. So we need to look at that too.
Okay, what type of effect would that have?
Well,
let's say it's 12. Let's use the 12 months. Like today, I can't get this builder to do this rehab for 12 months.
That is a really great question. We didn't cover it before, so let's talk about it. So, as the homeowner, you only pay interest only on the amounts of money that are distributed to you.
Okay.
So, if you've chosen the builder and everything's approved, you can still get that phase one distribution, because you're going to need to have it pay for the expenses of permits, the architectural drawings, all of those things have costs associated with them. You may even be picking out materials that require a deposit for them. So those sorts of things can be part of the first distribution, and then we wait for the contractor to start.
Okay.
But you only pay for the money that's been distributed to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have we talked about the website? So if I want to just go on their website and start looking at some of this language.
Well, the website is really more about how to reach me. And then I have a whole deck of content that I distribute to the client as we bring you along and educate you on the process. So that would be what the website's for.
Okay, so the best way to get a hold of you is just call you on your cell phone?
Yep, call me on my cell phone. It's 415-509-7788.
Perfect.
And I'm looking forward to helping.
That sounds great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan.
Welcome to the Live Explore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe.